In 2026, the Philippines takes on the crucial role of ASEAN chairmanship, stepping into the spotlight at a time of intense geopolitical tension and uncertainty in Southeast Asia. Nowhere is this tension more evident than in the South China Sea, where overlapping territorial claims and military maneuvers have raised the stakes for the entire region. The world's eyes are fixed on Manila, watching closely as it leads a divided bloc through one of the region's most persistent and complex challenges. The international media, regional partners, and rival powers all look to the Philippines for signals of unity, resolve, and diplomatic skill. As a primary claimant in the South China Sea dispute, the Philippines faces a delicate balancing act, defending its own national interests while striving to maintain ASEAN unity and credibility. This means not only advocating for its sovereign rights, but also working tirelessly to build consensus among ASEAN members, many of whom have differing perspectives and priorities regarding China and the maritime disputes. China's growing assertiveness in the South China Sea, marked by increased naval patrols and construction on disputed islands, puts Manila's leadership and diplomatic skills to the ultimate test. Every move is scrutinized, every statement weighed for its impact on regional stability. The chairmanship is both an opportunity and a burden for the Philippines. On one hand, Manila has the chance to shape the regional agenda, set the tone for dialogue, and champion a rules-based order. On the other, it faces immense pressure from all sides, regional allies, rival claimants, and global powers alike. The true measure of success will be the Philippines' ability to promote regional stability, foster genuine cooperation, and uphold a rules-based maritime order that benefits all ASEAN members. Achieving this will require deft negotiation, creative diplomacy, and unwavering commitment to peace. More than just crisis management, Manila's leadership is about demonstrating ASEAN's continued relevance and unity in an era of great power rivalry. It is a test of whether the bloc can stand together and assert its voice on the global stage. For the Philippines, 2026 will be a defining year, one that will shape not only its own diplomatic legacy, but also the future of the South China Sea and the role of ASEAN in maintaining peace and stability in the region. The South China Sea is a global economic lifeline. 1/3 of the world's shipping passes through its waters. Disruption here would ripple through supply chains worldwide, affecting everything from energy to consumer goods. The sea is rich in oil, gas, and fisheries, making it vital for Southeast Asia's energy and food security. Competition for these resources turns disputes into battles for economic survival. Militarily, the South China Sea is a strategic choke point, drawing in major powers like the US and China. The risk of miscalculation is high, with naval forces from multiple countries operating in close quarters. How these disputes are managed will shape the region's future and test the strength of international law. ASEAN's 10 members are diverse in politics, economics, and strategic priorities. Claimant states like the Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, and Brunei want a strong response to China, while non-claimants like Cambodia and Laos, reliant on Chinese aid, are more cautious. This divide makes consensus on the South China Sea elusive. China leverages its economic influence to dilute ASEAN's statements and actions. The Philippines, as chair, faces the daunting task of bridging these divisions. ASEAN's unity is tested by the tension between national interests and regional aspirations. Manila's challenge is to forge a common stance in the face of external pressure and internal discord. China's 9-line claim covers nearly 90% of the South China Sea, overlapping with the EEZs of several ASEAN states. Beijing bases its claim on historical usage, clashing with modern international law, especially UNCLOS. China's land reclamation and militarization of artificial islands have changed the facts on the ground. These actions are seen as attempts to enforce claims through coercion, not law. The ambiguity of the 9-line keeps other claimants off balance and complicates diplomacy. For the Philippines, this is not just a territorial dispute, it's a challenge to the international legal order. The core question: will rules or raw power decide the region's future? In 2013, the Philippines challenged China's claims at an international tribunal under UNCLOS. The 2016 ruling was clear. China's 9-line has no legal basis, and Beijing violated the Philippines' rights. This was a major legal victory for Manila, and a win for the rules-based order. China rejected the ruling outright, refusing to recognize or comply with it. The decision lacks enforcement, but it remains a powerful diplomatic tool for the Philippines. As ASEAN chair, Manila uses the award to reinforce its position and rally support. The ruling is a constant reference in diplomatic efforts, highlighting the importance of law over might. The aftermath shows the limits of international law when great powers refuse to play by the rules. Tensions between the Philippines and China have spiked at Scarborough Shoal and Second Thomas Shoal, two critical flashpoints in the South China Sea. These areas have become symbols of the broader geopolitical struggle in the region, where territorial claims and national pride collide. China's blockade of Scarborough Shoal has denied Filipino fishermen access to traditional grounds, impacting their livelihoods and stirring national sentiment. The blockade is a stark reminder of the ongoing struggle for control over these vital waters, where fishing rights are just one piece of a larger puzzle. At Second Thomas Shoal, the Philippines maintains a presence on the grounded BRP Sierra Madre, a rusting symbol of resistance, facing constant Chinese harassment. The ship, deliberately grounded decades ago, serves as a physical assertion of Philippine sovereignty, with Marines stationed aboard as a testament to their resolve. These confrontations are part of China's gray zone tactics, using Coast Guard and militia to assert control without open warfare. This strategy blurs the lines between peace and conflict, creating a tense atmosphere where every maneuver is scrutinized. Each resupply mission to the Sierra Madre is a test of resolve, broadcast to the world. These missions are not just logistical operations, they are acts of defiance, showcasing the Philippines' determination to uphold its claims despite the risks involved. These flashpoints are not just about territory, they test international commitments and alliances. The South China Sea disputes have drawn in global powers, with diplomatic and military engagements reflecting the high stakes involved. The U.S. has affirmed its defense treaty with the Philippines covers these incidents, signaling its readiness to support its ally. This commitment is crucial in maintaining a balance of power in the region, where alliances are constantly tested. The risk of escalation is real, underscoring the need for strong defense and partnerships. Joint military exercises and high-level meetings are part of a broader strategy to deter aggression and ensure stability. For Manila, these standoffs highlight the urgency of credible deterrence and international support. The Philippines continues to seek diplomatic solutions while strengthening its defense capabilities, aware that its future security depends on both regional and global cooperation. ASEAN's consensus model has kept peace among members but is a weakness when facing external pressure. Just one member, swayed by China, can block strong statements or action on the South China Sea. This has led to watered-down communiques and frustration among claimant states. The process can be manipulated, undermining ASEAN's credibility and centrality. As chair, the Philippines must build coalitions and reframe the issue as a threat to all, not just claimants. Persuading members that a rules-based order benefits everyone is key. Managing internal unity is as critical as handling China. As the current chair of ASEAN, the Philippines has placed the negotiation of a binding code of conduct, or COC, for the South China Sea at the very top of its diplomatic agenda. This is not just a routine item, it's a critical issue that will shape the region's future security and stability. The stakes are high, and Manila is determined to make real progress where previous efforts have stalled. Manila is pushing for a COC that is not only substantive but also enforceable, ensuring that all parties are held accountable under international law, particularly the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. In contrast, China continues to advocate for a more ambiguous, non-binding agreement, one that would leave room for interpretation and avoid strict enforcement. Bridging this wide gap between Manila's vision and Beijing's preferences is the central diplomatic challenge facing the region. The negotiations are complex, with each side holding firm to its interests, and the outcome remains uncertain. To strengthen its position, the Philippines is actively building international coalitions. By deepening strategic partnerships with the United States, Japan, Australia, and other like-minded nations, Manila aims to increase diplomatic and economic pressure on China, signaling that the world is watching and that regional security is a shared concern. Public diplomacy is also a crucial tool in Manila's arsenal. By meticulously documenting and publicizing Chinese activities in disputed waters, the Philippines seeks to shape global opinion, highlight violations, and rally international support for its cause. The ultimate goal is to rally support for a rules-based international order, exposing the gap between China's official statements and its actions on the ground. Manila wants the world to see the importance of upholding international law and freedom of navigation in these vital waters. Achieving a meaningful binding COC is essential not only for ASEAN's credibility, but also for the long-term peace and stability of the entire region. The world is watching to see if ASEAN can deliver on its promises. Ultimately, Manila's leadership will be measured by its ability to turn difficult negotiations into concrete progress, setting a precedent for regional cooperation and demonstrating that diplomacy can prevail in the face of great power rivalry. The Philippines knows diplomacy alone isn't enough. It's modernizing its navy and coast guard to boost deterrence. The goal isn't to match China militarily, but to raise the cost of aggression and show resolve. Revitalizing the U.S. alliance is central, with expanded exercises and clarified treaty commitments. Manila is also deepening security ties with Japan, Australia, and others, creating a web of partnerships. This multi-layered approach combines diplomacy, legal advocacy, and credible defense. The 2016 arbitral ruling remains a cornerstone of Manila's strategy. The aim: create conditions for peaceful resolution, ensure Philippine rights are respected, and keep ASEAN central in regional security. For the Philippines, it's about defending sovereignty and shaping the region's future through strength and principle.